Okay, this video is about a rant on assisted suicide. I can't believe this happened today. Number one, I'm on a closed group on Facebook, and that closed group deals with food. Epic food. Beneficial food. Number one, when I became a vegan, I got seriously pissed off. I think every vegan does that. I didn't do it because cows were being shot. I didn't do it for that reason. I did it so I could feel better. I get sick sometimes. I don't want to be sick. Blah, 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 blah. When you first become a vegan, sorry, I'm moving the camera. If this pisses anybody off, I'm sure you'll comment. This is the deal. What does food have to do with being at death's door? Okay. There's a bunch of things these are hitting right now. First of all, it's against the law. This doctor takes an oath, preserve life, I took an oath when I was born too. That oath was to be humane. That oath was to obey the law. That oath was to not lie, cheat, steal, be gluttonous, be a hooker. I mean, this is all kinds of rules when you become a human being. Death in philosophy is a very deep subject because we don't know what comes after death. We can speculate, we can have religious beliefs, that's part of our rights. And you can do all this stuff. I know you're going to get pissed off because I'm saying all this. But just let me spin it my way. Number one, he took an oath. Okay, he's breaking his oath. You know what? Sometimes I think doctors break their oath when they give me the 52 prescriptions they do anyway, with side effects that are inexplainable. Oh, I'm sorry, that's medical. I shouldn't say nothing about them because they're doctors and they're better than me. Two, if that said person, and if you ever been with somebody who is sitting there on heavy narcotics, having death visions, which are bona fide peer-reviewed, they're in philosophy, they're in moral and ethics, they're everywhere. First of all, Socrates was considered a gadfly. He used to walk around neighborhood and ask people a question. They would become so irritated by him, and now he's beloved. Same thing with Martin Luther King. Don't get me started. Peaceful protesting, he still got infringed upon. Okay. Girl across the street gets beat up. She comes over here. She goes back with the guy. We protect her. We almost get arrested because we kicked his car because he had the baby in the car and was trying to kill her and everything else. I tell the police, what do you want me to do? He has the baby in the car. He's going around in circles like a maniac and he beat this girl up. Oh, yeah, but this is your... Dude, this is striking all kinds of chords in me. First of all, why is a closed group on raw food even discussing that when you present a military situation, which is our society right now, which does affect my eating, because I'll tell you why it affects my eating. Because eating is about your mind, soul, spirit, body, health, blah, blah, blah. When our guys went over to this situation, we all know it was not handled right. Can we agree on that? Okay, there are military. I'm American. I'm Mexican-American, actually. And I believe that when our military gets sent somewhere, because those guys took an oath, that we should honor them, their families, and we should wait for them, and we should honor them, no matter what our commander-in-chief has said, because those boys get on the ground floor. If they don't have a plan, they get messed up. Agreed? See, this touches on a bunch of issues, because what is a raw food group doing with the issue of a woman who felt it deemed necessary on heavy narcotics to make a decision about her body? First of all, you come in alone. I was in hospice. You go out alone. It is a law, it's against the law to assist anyone to die. There is also a law that says if you're acting crazy, you get put in a psych ward. 5150. You're a danger to yourself or others. Because we try to protect your life. Maybe you're not in such a good place. I've been in my lifetime, I'm going to be 50, not in a good place a lot of times. A lot. Maybe I should have been put in there too. But herein lies the problem. They only can keep you for 3 days. So you're going to work out all that situation in 3 days. Second of all, have you ever been so sick they tell you you're going to die? They did that to me at 27. I'm not just doing it because it relates to me. I'm doing it because I got a freaking education. And I found out what it was like for people who were sick. Have you ever worked at hospice? Have you ever sat there while somebody was so medicated and in so much pain and were not even present, really present, so you could help them die and their family? Some people choose to stop that process. They stay because they're holding on. We all hold on. You know what holding on's all about. I don't have to tell you what holding on's about. I don't have to tell you what letting go's about. That's what this whole life is about. Holding on, letting go, accepting, flipping out, not flipping out, being sick, not being sick. Oh my God, the mortgage got to be paid. Oh my God, I lost my house. Oh my God, I just got beat up. Oh my God, we're in a war. God forbid. That is life, people, in my opinion. When you become so sick and you can't, this is what I'm thinking. Now, I don't know every single freaking detail of her brain, but I've heard this issue come up before, and we've discussed it in a classroom of a great school that's accredited with great professors, and we've talked about it. Is it a moral issue? Is it ethical? Is it right? What's right, guys? What is right? I'm right, you're wrong. You're right, I'm wrong. Talk to Socrates, who took his own life. Why? He didn't want to be dishonored with his own people. He was merely asking questions. He was merely causing people to think, and now we hail him as a great God. I ain't trying to be Socrates here, but I'm just trying to tell you my 49 years of experience. When someone is dying like that, it is excruciating. When you touch their skin, they're not present. Mentally, physically, they are hanging on. We know all about hanging on. The reason I'm making this video is this woman said, I don't mean to touch a nerve of sensitivity, but what do you think about this serious illness she had? And could eating raw have helped her? Look, dudes, if you got a freaking tumor in your brain and every doctor has said to you, you are on death's bed and you know you're dying, shouldn't you go out the way you want? Now, I'm not talking about jumping off a building, hitting other human beings, endangering the life of others. Maybe she wasn't in her right mind. I didn't suffer her illness. Did you suffer mine? Did you get told at 27 that you can't work anymore because you got cancer and you're going to die? Did you get organs taken out against your will and have no basis for a lawsuit? Did you get told for 20 years you'd never be nothing? When you got a brain, when you got a body, and when you damn well know that you can do it. And I did. Because I'm a fighter. I come from the generation that said if you work hard enough, you will make it. You know how many young people I see today that don't know how to clean their dishes? Do you know how many women I know women, who don't understand that the right to vote is a big deal. Because I remember a time when we couldn't. I studied it. I understood it. I wanted to understand it. I don't wear a bra. I don't wear makeup anymore. Because this is who I am. Good or bad, right or wrong. If I am so sick, do you think I want to die in a hospital? No, thank you. When my sister went into a coma, did she have the right to die? They resuscitated her. For 5 days I laid there and watched her slowly drift away with a little scratch on her brainstem due to a drunk driver. I buried that daughter, my sister. My brother took his life with a weapon. Sure did. My son died. I know all about death. And I know how society reacts to death. Get over it. Get over it. You don't just get over it. It hurts. So I think a person that's sick, really sick, that they're in pain and they want it to end. She came in alone. And she went out with somebody's help. He took an oath. He broke the law. So did the guy that beat this girl up. So did the guy that took my organs. So did the guy that was a drunk driver, didn't have a license or insurance, didn't even have papers to be here. Went down to a homicide, or whatever they call it. Wasn't first degree. It was accidental homicide on Memorial Weekend. Made a left-hand turn. This before seatbelts were mandatory. Little scratch on my beautiful sister's brainstem. She was kept alive on a machine. And they said, once we pull that machine, we will prick her, do everything to see if there's a response to the brain, but the brain is swelling and she's dead. I knew the third day I touched her hand. I could feel it. Have you ever felt a dead body? It ain't nothing nice. Death is a part of life. You will all die in one way or another. Should she have taken her own life or got assisted in taking her own life? He broke the law. It's probably not a good place to be in. But he believed in what he was doing. I haven't had a conversation with this gentleman. What the fuck it's doing on Facebook on a raw food group, I'll never know. They've argued back and forth, and raw food will save your life, and maybe she should have. You know what, MFers? Why don't you just let this woman do what she's got to do, and let's start talking about food again? Or the lack thereof. How about we change and do our best to sign petitions to get rid of GMOs so maybe we don't get cancer? That they are linking to a 30-year study that is peer-reviewed. Do your math, folks. You don't know how to do math? 1 + 1 makes 2. Start there. I'm angry right now because these people have pissed me off so bad I stopped the notifications. It's a ridiculous argument. It's not even a good debate. She took her frickin' life, guys. Her family will never see her again. It was her choice. We all have free will. It's against the law. You know what I think is against the law? The fact that they changed my food so much that when I went to get an orange, it was this big. When I know those MFers are this big, I ain't stupid. The fact that meat is no longer meat. The fact that my husband works as a truck driver and is disrespected and there's no decent food to eat at a truck stop to make healthier choices. So maybe we can live another year. Wouldn't that be nice? So we can live free. So we can defend the homeless, helpless, and poor. I help people at Katrina. I love this dog. He's amazing. So I could go volunteer and put $30,000 of my superficial fake money to help a bunch of people at ground level zero. Not in New Orleans. I went to Biloxi. We didn't have a shower for 3 months. I'm sure our military is going through much worse. They never forgot me. They called me Denver because I was from Colorado. I drove my car even when Salvation Army, the government, and everybody else told me I could not go anywhere I wanted. I said, why don't you go kick rocks? I'm going where I want to go, and I'm going to go help who I want to help. Because all I wanted to do was just hold them. What could I do, guys? All I could do was hold them, dry off their pictures, and say, I'll be here tonight, and I'll drive by. Just give me a little flicker on that light. Light your lighter, whatever we can find. I didn't get them good food. I didn't get those dead bodies out of there. I smelled them every day. Do you volunteer? Do you volunteer at hospice? They set up a program in the prison where the inmates that are lifers can volunteer to be a hospice worker. I think that's a beautiful thing. When that documentary was done, those men were brought to their knees and had epiphanies of what they had truly done to human beings. And they helped their fellow prison mates die with dignity. That's another word. What is dignity? That you're able to live a life where you can look in the mirror. That's what dignity is. When I look in the mirror now and I don't have any makeup on, no matter how old I'm getting, I'm not so pretty anymore, am I? Where I can make money. I look in the mirror and I say, good job. Good job, girl. Because today I'm free. Today I'm free to go and set up orphanages in Africa because I believe in it. Today I'm free to grow my own food and control those seeds that are heirloom to continue giving children good food. Today I work with children and educating them. Today I speak at the major universities about death and dying. What should we say to people that are dying? Get over it. They're about to get over it. Is death so bad? So bad we can't talk about it? Get over it, guys. Let that woman do what she needs to do. Should the doctor have assisted her? No. She had enough medication to take herself out. She didn't want to do it. And I think I understand why. Am I mad at her? No. People die every 2 seconds. For this thing or another thing. Why is that an issue in raw food? Why are they even thinking in terms of that? I don't think a carrot would have helped that. Oh, she should have been eating healthy. You know what, guys? You know what? Hope, light. Oh, you wouldn't believe the responses. Love and light. Really? I've seen people say love and light to a lot of situations. Right now, is there love and light where our American soldiers are sitting there alone without their children, wives, family, and her husband or whatever? When the guy knocks at their door with that uniform on, his job, to announce to that family that their son, daughter, whatever, is no longer alive. Wow. Are they in the light? What is love? See, you can just go on and 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 on. I'm so sick of people taking issue with things that are none of their business. Change your situation. Feed the hungry. Stop judging the guy that's drinking on the street and saying, oh my God, he's a bum and he's begging for money because he gets Social Security and I give him $1. You know what? That alcoholic could die that night without a drink. I'll give him a drink. What? To feed his alcoholism? I'm in recovery. I've seen many an alcoholic die. But if he doesn't have that drink, he could die. It's a disease. You can go without methamphetamine. You can even go without crack. But you can't go without a drink if you're a true alcoholic. I took my dad through the DTs many times. I'm making this video because it's important. I'm making this video because people should talk about death. I'm making this video so you can stop telling them to get over it. Stop telling people to get over death. When you lose a person, be more like a Native American and put them in a teepee for 3 weeks and let them scream, holler, cry, and get angry, because that's how you feel when people die. You get so crazy. You miss them. You love them. You never thought that day would come, just like when I lost my son. Did I ever think that day was coming on my shift? No. But it happened. Over 20 years ago. His birthday's on the 20th, and I shall never forget that child. Ever. He wasn't in the military. He wasn't in a war. He was my child. He died. I was never the same. It was the greatest hurdle of my life. He still doesn't have a headstone. That shows you how much I fought it. We can fight things or let it go. Should I let go of those posts that were put in? No, I shall not let go, because it's an injustice to sit there and make meager arguments about things that are so heavy and deep. And take the time to talk. Stop texting. Talk. Hello? Are you okay? You're not? Yeah, I know, your dad died a week ago. You know what? Should I come over and bring you some tea? Do you need something to eat? That's what love is. And you hold their hand and you listen. That's what they need. And when somebody's dying, they need that. They need that person to read to them if they want it. Listen to the music that they want to. So they can take their next step in life with dignity. Should she have? I don't know. Should the doctor have helped her? I don't give a flying flip. All I know is that when you are dying, it isn't fun. And sometimes you don't want to take another pill. You're sick of pills. I can show you how many pills I have to take a day. I don't really give a flying flip. I'll still build that garden. I'll still feed kids. I'll still help the poor, and I'll still give that guy $1 for his bottle of liquor. So maybe that night he doesn't have to die, because the next day somebody might come and take him to a rehab. God, please. Yeah, big crackheads and alcohol. I swear to God, if one more person argues with me about it, I'm going to punch him in the face. Get real. Wake up. And let's stop thinking about things that we used to think about. Let it go and do something different. Be proactive. Support your military that saves your life and keeps you free. So you can walk into Walmart and make irrational food decisions. So you can walk into a pharmacy and get a medication because some doctor told you were sick and you were going to die. I'm going to die one day, guys. That's why I do these videos. So you can all look back and say, hey, that chick might have been thinking. That's a big deal now. A big deal. That somebody actually thinks. It's so easy to get this phone and just push a button and everybody tells me about my life. No, I could care less. You know what I care about? Human beings. Not Johnny, Susie, Sally, earn your... No. If I see a human being and they're in trouble, I go. I'm not afraid of them. At Katrina, they wouldn't let a cop go in there, but they let me go in there. Because I came with good intentions. They knew I wouldn't hurt them. If you only knew. I should write a book. I swear to God, I've been through so much. This is a really long video. Not all of you are going to watch it. I could care less. It's a chronological video of my life. And I'm going to keep doing them. I'm going to keep journaling. I'm going to keep writing songs. I'm going to keep helping the poor. I'm going to keep on keeping on. But when I get to that bed, I hope it's in my home with my family. And they're holding my hand. And they say honey or mom or auntie or whatever it is they say. And I say, it's my time. Let's go out with a bang. Play my music. Let's talk. Let's celebrate this moment. If it's of my own fruition, that's the way I would love to die. With the people I love, with my dogs, with my friends, family, people I've helped, all of it. That's what I want to take, because that's all I got. Even some of these people I don't know, like Jimmy Rant, Surviving Call, I could just name people right now, just 100 people. That's what I want. When I die, I want dignity. I want choice. And I want to be awake. I don't want to be asleep. I don't want to be at death's door and have the lack of being able to communicate. I want something. I want it to be not a celebration. That's a very common word. I want it to be free. Like an animal goes off in the woods and dies. That's how I want to die. But I want those people that I love around me so they can say goodbye. Because they got to live with it, don't they? So everybody's taking the time to talk about this. Even groups that don't. It's not even relative to. And they stand off their own experience, and everybody has the free will, and everybody has the right to feel this way, and I'm angry about it. But at the same time, I can rise above it and be and think and live and love and laugh and dance and cry and scream and want to throw rocks and want to blow up the government sometimes just because they piss me off. But you have the right to be angry, as long as you're not hurting others. And I've seen many a person angry and hurt others. That's my video on assisted suicide. That's my video of my life. And if you don't think it's relative, I don't care. Post whatever you want to post. Because I'm probably not going to read it anyway, because I half the time don't know what's going on YouTube because it's too technical and I don't care. All I care about is that one day my children and my husband will look back on this and say, damn, she's a good thinker. So I'm signing off. That's Cindy Lou. If you watch it, great. If you don't, great. I'm still here, and I'm still thinking. That's what makes me a human being. Peace, guys. And stop judging other people.